Okay. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going to the next thing. Hold up. Okay, I gotta find it. I gotta find it. I gotta find it. Here we go. So y'all, Lizzo talked to Keke Palmer. And I just wanted to point out some things I noticed. Let's listen.
Bombshell lawsuit against Lizzo.
Lizzo has not commented on the suit.
Our efforts to reach Lizzo's production company were unsuccessful.
Hold up. That's not is that the one? Is that the one? I feel like I watched one that was like actual clips. I'm
None of that bombshell law.
be upset. Was it neighborhood talk again? Oh my God. I hate the way I feel like I be saying these things. Girl, we're gonna talk about that. And when I go back to find them, they not there.
All of this.
See, look, I knew I had saved it. There's some games people play with me. Okay, let's get into it.
This came literally out of nowhere. And you can ask me anything about it because I got dismissed from the case.
Yeah, that's a big weight off your shoulders, I'm sure.
Yes, and we're continuing to fight the other claims until they're all dismissed and not dropped, dismissed, which means a judge saw this and in the court of law, he looked at the evidence and said, okay, we can't allow this to go through because the evidence was.
Y'all, I'm sorry, but Keke is so unserious to me. Girl, I'm sorry. I'm really sitting up here giggling at Keke.
Evidencing against the claims.
Yeah.
So it is a big victory, but
so let's get into the details. Obviously, August 2023, 3 former backup dancers filed a lawsuit against you, your production company, and your dance captain, Shirlene Quigley. They all accuse you of sexual, religious, and racial harassment, disability discrimination, assault, false imprisonment. I mean, this is a list. Creating a hostile work environment and weight shaming. So obviously, you know, it was dismissed.
Yeah.
They went through it. The judges must did.
All of this came literally out of nowhere. And you can ask me anything about it because I got dismissed from the case.
Yeah, that's a big weight off your shoulders, I'm sure.
Yes. And
judges must didn't think it was real and valid, but it has to be some connective tissue. So what happened actually that made them pull this from this? I know you dismissed them as dancers, but it was no bad blood. Where do you think they're pulling that from?
So when you think about what the media put as a headline, when you see sexual harassment, when you see assault, all of those things, it is like, whoa, that it's very shocking. But then when you read the claims in the actual lawsuit, it's ridiculous. They're very silly claims. I could go through every single one. The sexual harassment one is really the one that upsets me the most to hear.
This was about something with a strip club. Is that where that came from?
Yeah, we went. So there's a place called Crazy Horse in Paris, France. You heard of it?
I haven't heard of it. Okay, but I be going. Judges must didn't think it was on a strip club.
But this isn't a strip club. Crazy Horse is like it's a dance review, but it's in Europe. So a topless dance review, but think about it's like the Rockettes or something, and it's burlesque.
Sure.
And so I've gone for years, and I always invite the performers to like, hey, oh my gosh, you should come through and watch this show, like, and get inspired. And every time I've gone, I've had my performers come and they watch the show, and everything's always been fine. This time I gave like an invitation. It wasn't mandatory. It was just, hey, I'm going to Crazy Horse. Everyone's invited. If you want to come, you can come. There were plenty of people who didn't come, but then there were people who did. We watched the show. It was an amazing show. And the Crazy Horse performers, they wanted to meet me afterwards because, you know, I'm me. And
come on, Leo Moon Rising.
I extended that. I was like, who wants to meet the Crazy Horse dancers? And they were all like, me.
On the strip club.
But this isn't a, you know, they all raise their hand. So we all went downstairs. We met the dancers. We laughed. We talked. There's photos and videos of the 3 girls who are the ex-dancers who are suing me in a video with them, smiling, having a great time. And we all went back to our hotels. And that is one of the claims of sexual harassment.
Do you feel like, and I'm asking you this because I also often have to think about this, when you are the boss, so to speak, and you're the same age as the people that you're working with. You see them as peers. Even though you're signing the checks, you see these people as people you hang out with, you kick it with. These are your friends. Do you feel that sometimes you were not able to see the way that they perceived you based on you being their boss? Meaning, maybe did they feel like they had to go, or this is my boss, so I got to be chill. I don't see her as my friend or my homegirl. I feel like I got to do this, or I feel like I got to be down with it because I want to keep my job. Do you think that could have ever played a part into them now feeling like what they're feeling or saying now?
You know, they all raise a hand.
What they've been saying?
Well, I can't speak for how they felt because I don't know, but I definitely, the first half of your question, was I unable to see that? Yes, because the way that I came up, and people who have been following me for a long time know that when I even started as an indie artist, I was hiring my friends.
Right.
And that's how it is in this industry.
For sure.
You hire your friends, and if they're not your friends when you hire them, they become your friends. And like that boss employee dynamic in the music industry isn't as like intense as it is in the corporate world.
It's blurred, which is why coercion is so prominent, which is why Russell Simmons can say he never forced anybody, but the girl can say she felt like you pushed her into a corner. You feel me?
I literally toured with people that I considered my best friends and sisters for years. And I hear about artists who don't even talk to their dancers, who don't mingle with them at all. And I used to be like, why it's like that? Like, it don't gotta be like that. We can all be family and hang out and have a good time. But now I see why. And I think this experience taught me how to set those kinds of boundaries, not just to protect them, but to protect myself.
Yeah, because to your point, I know personally, and you know, they have some stuff in acting, but in our entertainment industry in general, everything is so casual. There is no HR person coming in and always checking on you. Every now and then we have a SAG union person coming in, but we don't be telling them the truth all the time. Sorry, y'all.
Oh, God.
I gotta keep the jobs. No. But my point is to make with that is that, you know, it is something to be said about that when you are an independent contractor or a boss or an entrepreneur, that you have to implement these things, you know, and I love the accountability you're taking on saying, well, maybe I, you know, could do better next time to make sure that I'm safe and they're safe, and that those lines aren't blurred, because I think it's tough, because you do want to be, I want to be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
But how they're perceiving me and how that then can be taken out of context or.
Yeah. Well, and let's be clear. I've did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
So I have no regrets, but I do have now this learned experience that is preparing me for the boss that I am becoming.
Yeah, I have some stuff in acting, but in our entertainment industry in general,
all of this came literally out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And you can ask me anything about it because I got dismissed.
I'm trying to find, there was another clip that I saw, y'all, that I just finished watching, where I believe she was like crying, like that's the one I want to look at, because that specific clip was making me feel away.
None of that bombshell lawsuit against Lizzo.
Lizzo has not commented on the suit.
Our efforts to reach Lizzo's production company were unsuccessful.
I only want to do this interview once, and I feel like this was the best place to do it.
None of that bombshell lawsuit against Lizzo.
Lizzo has not commented on the suit.
Our efforts to.
I could have sworn I saw this video that was like a clip, and she was like crying and saying that the people, you know, it was, I don't want to start putting words in her mouth, but damn it, I'm mad. I thought I had saved it. Such foolishness. Either way, I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm a little in the middle. And I say I'm a little in the middle because a part of me feels like there is something callous. There's something maybe a little cold.
That young girl is.
There's something a little cold about Lizzo.
That period of my life was very dark because of the feeling of betrayal. Not because I was like, oh my God, like I did something wrong. It was like, no, like the wind was knocked out of me by people that I cared about. And even if it wasn't like you was my best friend in the whole wide world, I hired you. You know, I believed in you. And to feel betrayed.
See all of that? All of that talk right there. Like my barometer for a person that's low-key full of themselves is going off in that moment because you feel like nobody can make an accusation against you because you believed in them, because you hired them. That one ain't got nothing to do with the other. One ain't got nothing to do with the other.
On that level was like deeply earth-shattering. And then the betrayal from the public, where they were just like, well, we believe it. You know, we've known you for 5 years and we've seen, you know.
That's another thing. We've known you for 5 years. Girl, you're a performer. We don't know you. We don't know you. Like, that's wild for you to even say that. Let's continue.
How you stand up for, you know, marginalized people and bigger bodies and Black women. But you know what? We don't believe you anymore. I was like, oh, okay. Valid, fair. I get it.
Okay, so if it's valid and it's fair and you get it, then how can you say, that's why I'm saying I don't feel like it's a lie. It's more so a betrayal that you actually let everybody know what was going on, more so than, you know, I don't think I did anything wrong. That shit too. Now I'm starting to feel like maybe there was an energy, an unspoken energy that those girls had to come when you requested them.
And then the betrayal from the media. That period of my life was worked so hard to get to this place in my life. I know, me too. And it's like,
girl, I'm sorry. It's Kiki saying, I know, me too. Oh, girl. Oh, girl. Girl, first of all, Kiki, don't make it about you. Second of all, I don't know what's going on in this interview, bitch, but I feel like I'm watching two prima donnas have a delusional conversation and validate each other's delusion. And I don't even know if that's the case, but girl, that's how I feel. Let me continue. Listen, just because the case was dismissed doesn't mean that she didn't have an energy that was kind of bullying to the people around her, is what I'm saying. And I also feel like sometimes it's hard to prove an environment if nobody's actually saying anything. Sometimes people say things when they don't give you certain jobs or when they're cold to you one day, not because they actually said anything to you. And when they said that she made fat phobic remarks about how people needed to lose weight or whatever the fuck, like just because you advocate for that doesn't mean that you wouldn't say those things to people. Because a lot of people, i.e., remember Dr. Jackie advocating for, you know, Black women when it comes to their mortality rate, when they're, you know, in utero having babies and all of this, and then turned around and said that women cry wolf. Like, they promote one thing, but then say another. Yeah, it's a common occurrence, especially in people that are, I don't want to call them narcissists because I feel like people keep saying everybody is not a narcissist. It's 1% of the population that are narcissists from what I understand. But I still feel like people can have narcissistic tendencies. They can do certain things that act within that same mind frame of feeling like they're infallible or they're above reproach. And I feel like that's how she is coming off.
I fucking slept out of my car and I didn't know where I was going to get my next meal. And I've been through so much pain and loss. And I just try to work through that pain and loss and bring joy to the world. That's it. That's all I try to do. And that's why for a whole year, I didn't even get on the internet like that mad. I wasn't petty on the internet because I don't even want to bring, even if my pain is valid, that's not my ministry.
I don't think the tears were really real. And I feel like watching her go from that to this feels like a quick emotion change. And also I feel like she's constantly pedestalizing herself in this situation. Even when Kiki tries to say, maybe, you know, you handle things in a way that you don't need to handle them. Yeah, I do need to handle it different. You're absolutely right, because you can't trust these people.
To bring it to the world like that.
And that's
so
why
I kept it. I internalized it. I ate that shit.
You have to just suck it up because it's not
worked. So this isn't a strip club. Crazy Horse.
Okay. So yeah, y'all. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like I don't know, Lizzo. I don't know, girl. A part of me feels like, people do take advantage and people do, throw out lawsuits frivolously to get a check from somebody. But I also feel like it's more often than not that people who are bosses in any respect sometimes overplay their hand. And I pay attention to words and what people say. And that is why I played that specific clip, because it was not edited and it was her saying exactly how she felt about the situation, and she pedestalized herself. I feel like there's something to be said about that. I feel like there's something to be said about that. Okay. I've been sad to mad. I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have, honey. I still said what I said.